Why, hello, it's Gleekon, and I'm here again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. Thank you for tuning in. On the last episode, we started off the Thousand Needles run from the Horde side this time. A very dense zone when you take all things into consideration. One that is pocked with a couple of dungeons that will run. We finished it all completely with the Alliance, and just got our little hooves wet with the first Horde-only quests last time. This time we're going to continue that with Gleek Soul, our Tauren Shaman. Stay a while. I'd miss it. This is actually off script. I was not planning on doing this episode today. I was actually going to do a shorty mini. I had an intense busy day at work today, so thought that was going to go down.
It's too far away.
It did not. My Zealot Blade expired. Yikes, nobody wanted to buy that old Zealot Blade. So I think I'm just going to sell that way. Yeah, oh well. We'll take a loss on that. Can't keep. I think I tried to sell it twice already. So we'll just take the 80 silver. Yeah, I was going to make a short episode. What we're going to do right now, if we look at what's going on, Serpent Wild is over here. So actually, let's go do this hub and Steelsnap. I think that's what I kind of talked about at the end of last episode. That would be good for us. So yeah, I thought I was going to do a little mini one. I was like, I'll give him a little something. Today I'll put a little something out, but then I looked and I realized my next one is actually a short story, one of our fables. So I will drop that one tomorrow. But I hadn't prepped it, so I sat down to do the record. I thought I was just going to have to do a little bit of a prep of an in-game lore, and I realized I have a couple fables ahead of us. So not ready for that yet, and I will upload that tomorrow, and we'll get one of our fables tomorrow. So that's why we had a little bit of a change. Yesterday there was no record on this channel. I did give myself, again, I'm trying to give myself one day a week off. But it's not even a true day off because I'm still producing content on those days for the Patreon channel. So for those of you that want to support me and help me maybe one day have to work less in the office and just make more for you guys out here in the world, that'd be awesome. Go ahead and check that out. If you become a subscriber, there's a series called Lore of Assassin's Creed on there. You'll be helping me actualize my dreams, and you'll also be getting weekly content. I'm about 3/4 of the way through the first Assassin's Creed game, and we've got some lore coming up on that one too over the next few weeks. And you can just support me any way you want over there. We're getting really close to hitting that threshold for support here on YouTube also, because I have to face it. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate it all. You seriously, silver lining of even when I have my hardest days, I know that there's some joy coming out of this for me, and it seems as though I'm giving a little bit of joy to you guys out there too, and that's the reason why I'm on this planet. Look at those two hyenas. Makes me think that maybe those are Snapjaw's crew. Steeljaw, what's his name? Steelsnap. I was somewhere in the ballpark. All right, but it's not. So we're gonna do all of this. We're gonna do Steelsnap's rib, and we're gonna do this little Serpent Wild. Yada yada yada. The reason I want to do both is because it's gonna end up sending us into Thunder Bluff to fight these baddies. Off camera on my dry run, we are slowly making ground on that, that's gonna cause me to pivot at some point in time, where I'm gonna have to revisit some of the other longer novels. The new scheduling format with the one day off a week and mixing in some of the shorter lore is helping with that, is helping slow the inexorable gain we're having, because quite frankly, you know, doing the episodes we do on this, I don't have enough time to play outside of the game lately. So the prep work is I'm losing ground. Once we get past Classic, I'm not going to do it anymore anyway. I don't think it'll be necessary. So I'll see, but I really think that stuff I've done enough of that it'll be cool. I'm going to skin those too. That's free real estate on skinning right there as we make our way. We're in Steelsnap's hat circle. So Steelsnap is not too shabby, not too tough. It is a hyena that is a pack. He comes with a couple allies. We can probably handle all three at the level we're at right now. And then we have a couple interesting quests coming out. I don't know how long. I probably won't have like a mega 2-hour one like I sometimes have. Just because it was a later start on the day for me, and this isn't what I had recorded. Planned to record, rather. But I still want to put something out there. And, I mean, quite frankly, it is fun. I do enjoy it. It's just a matter of time. And really, it's a matter of sleep. When I do these records, and then when I start the 2-hour record late like this, even if it's an hour and a half, now I'm looking at maybe 5 hours of sleep. So it really eats into, you know, that makes the days hard, makes the work days hard and long. That's what she said. I see Rakalim the Binder. He's right there. I'm not gonna fight him right now, but that is someone we'll have to do for one of these tests soon. Just trying to stay in the. There's one of those diggers. I'm trying to find. There's Steelsnap. Someone has recently killed him. So I don't know what the respawn timer is on that guy, but that's gonna cause me to pivot. Come back to that in a mo. So instead, we'll go ahead and, I mean, I'll finish the loop out in case he respawns fast. I don't know what the respawn timer is. But as you saw, there was 2 regular hyenas and a longer one. Here's Camp Ethok, one of the other centaur camps, I guess. Steelsnap comes on through here, according to old Questy. But yeah, so I'm still in Badlands, and as you know, I've been there for more than a week. The problem, or one of the slowing parts of Badlands is that there are a ton of Uldaman quests, and there are a ton of Badlands quests that are tied into the exterior of Uldaman, and there's all these chains that are intricately tied. So in a way, I've finished all of the Badlands quests, but I'm doing a lot of Uldaman, which then a lot of them sync back up with other quests within Badlands, and just a little bit of a process. But I'm getting closer and closer. I think there's maybe... I finished for real all of the Badlands Alliance quests, even the ones that are tied to Uldaman, and I just have actual Uldaman quests left. But then again, there are still some other ones tied into different parts of the zone, like Ironforge and stuff like that. There's just a lot of back and forth. So very weird little zone here. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, there's Assassination plot, there's also Serpent Wild, so let's turn in Serpent Wild.
Vengeance! So the legend of Arikara is true. Indeed, this is a problem that must be resolved immediately.
So that was the little snake, winged snake that, once we brought the alien egg out, it came out and ate the dog and flew off.
Arikara is a deadly creature that must be dealt with swiftly. In order to hunt her down, you will need to light the sacred fire of life. This will summon Arikara. Go now and harvest the rare Incendia agave plant. Once you have harvested enough agave, seek counsel with Magatha Grimtotem on Elderrise in Thunderbluff. She is a powerful shaman that can enchant the agave plant to create a powder that will light the fire. Travel northeast to the boiling pool and gather Incendia agave.
It's just kind of weird the way he said Magatha. Alright, so Serpent Wild followed by the Sacred Fire. That was where I was looking at those. So let's go into the old database. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Back into Thousand Needles. So we picked up, well, we just completed Serpent Wild. So we're going to check that one off. Bam, and then that allowed us to pick up the quest Sacred Fire. We have to actually complete that, or, you know, at least do the parts before we go into Thunderbluff. Let's also talk to this guy. Let's pick his quest up.
I am the only survivor from our caravan attacked by the centaur. A rare yet mighty panther is guarding my best gizmo, which is around his neck. Ha! Even the centaur tremble in the presence of this ferocious beast. Here is the key to the cage. They took everything there but left him alone. Slay this beast and bring back my hypercapacitor, and I shall reward you. The wrecked caravan is just north of here.
I mean, it's kind of a side grade with the Band of the Undercity. I would lose a spirit to gain a stamina. I kind of like that. I think I'll probably take them up on it. It helps out with the soloing aspect. But that's Hypercapacitor Gizmo. It's actually a tougher quest. It's an elite, but it's short. It's a nice one-off. It's nothing special. We will do that momentarily.
They come to kill me? I will show them how a Tauren fights.
This is what when we got the drop from the centaur.
But there may be more centaur than I thought, I ask you, adventurer, to fight with me against these vile assassins.
Okay, so we are going to do this. We're going to drop these quests. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. So we got to kind of be careful here, because I got to drop this maybe. I got to make sure he's not killed by all of his stuff here. There we go. They're pretty weak, and I don't know that we really have to... Oh, I forgot to put this on there. Okay, we got one. I think I was able to... I don't know if there's a second wave that comes. I also did pretty bad about like prepping. Yeah, so not that bad actually. That was way less bad than I thought. You just have to kill the 3 and make sure you get the thread on them. I feel like I dropped this fire note totem, but then I think they killed it or something.
Thank you for your help, adventurer. I couldn't have held them off without you.
5 agility, that's weaker, way weaker than what we have. These boots are trash. The gloves we can't wear. So those might be good depending on your spec. That's it. So protect Kanati Greycloud. We basically found out that they were going to assassinate him, and we stopped them. So we've got these 2. Bam. Those are both done. Bop. Cool. So that is drop, pick up, drop. We've almost completed this entire little mini hub here. But before we go, we're going to go ahead and get the Hypercapacitor Gizmo. But also, let's go out and see now if those hyenas have respawned. Before we go killing that. The hyena kill here for Steelsnap is a little bit easier than the Hypercapacitor Gizmo. That's a level 30 elite panther. We should be okay if I set up a little better and don't play like a dingus. Now that's a big ask for me. I'm a man, an old man, and my hand-eye coordination is not as good as you young bucks, or probably even my own age level peers. There's probably guys out there that are older than me and better than me, and many of you kill me in PvP and let me know it. One of the main reasons I don't do PvP because I just suck at it. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm hopeless. I just don't sweat it out in PvP in the same way that I sweat it out on quest grinding, and why people of many... that guy aggroed onto me crazy far away. Many people are like, yeah, you're... like, what you do is crazy and annoying and boring, and I would never do it. That's kind of how I feel about PvP. I just don't... I mean, and it's interesting, too, because I like real-life PvP. I like sports and stuff. I enjoy playing them. I don't know why. I don't know why. What's the psychology? There's our pack. Okay, we're gonna go right here. I think we can probably just beast mode on these guys right here. So I'm gonna go ahead, drop them all. I'm not gonna drop this. Okay. Now there is a way you can like stance these little totems. Probably could have gone after the easier ones first. Don't like the fact that they're like all up on the butt like that. There we go. Gotta get a quick heal off. Don't know if I'll be able to get both. Barely. I got it. Oops, I don't know why I'm sitting there trying to, there you go. Trying to, whatchamacallit. I start trying to skin him in the middle of a fight. Alright, so I probably, in hindsight, could have gone for his weaker ones first. It would have made the fight a little easier. I don't know. Worked out either way. I gotta remember to save my medium leather for my leather working. Alright, so we got Steelsnap. That was all good. And now let's go ahead and get the Hypercapacitor Gizmo. Fun little solo quest as well. We could probably... This one's going to be tougher than what we just did. Because that guy wasn't elite. The only thing that's hard about him is that it was a 3v1 fight. So, but it was... we were 5 levels ahead of him. Not the end of the world. Whereas this time we're going to be 5 levels ahead of him also, but it's an elite. I think I typically come at this one from the south. You do have to... you can kill a couple centaurs on your way in. Then after this, we're going to go after the agave. And then make a trip back to Thunder Bluff. Because we have, I don't know, some stuff to turn in there. I feel like we got a couple things to turn in. We have the key. And... here we go. You just go after these guys. Clear these couple. You don't even really have to... they're not going to aggro. These grays are not going to aggro us from far away or anything. Alright, so... all I'm doing is getting ready, clearing the area, and then I'm going to drop my totems, all that jazz. And 30 seconds? That demoralizing shout lasts 30 seconds? I wish I had a 30-second long demoralizing shout. Okay. Alright, so with a 5-minute kind of cooldown on the whole process, I'm going to reapply my buffs first and foremost. Cool. I'm going to eat one of these clams to get my life and get the well-fed buff going. Drop a couple totems. That's it. That's all I'm really going to do to set up. I really think we'll be okay. He will aggro on immediately. So if you are doing this quest with a group or you're trying to plan it, whatever, in a certain way. Now, statuary, what's this? Sentry. Yeah, stupid. I'm going to also put that bad boy down there.
Need to get closer.
And then we're just going to go after this. Oh no, that's exactly what I did not want to happen. That's why you don't drop this stupid searing totem. Okay, now I'm going after this guy. So we're in bad shape already because of it. No, I went after the quick heal. That was dumb of me. So we're already in bad shape because of my stupid aggroing that. We might have to run and reset. Hate it. Terrible. This was terrible. I mean, we can do a potion as needed. The mana thing is down too. I don't know, we're gonna see. But there goes my mana. Gosh. Oh, man. Oh, that was so freaking close. That was me being totally bad at the game, like I said, but I bailed myself out. Somehow, some way. Okay, let me get a heal off, so I'm not sitting here clutching at the paws of death. We did survive, and I somehow lived despite despite myself. Now the agave, that's going to be a little bit easier to go get. We'll just take care of that. That quest is just a little bit tedious, things are really dead in the zones, so that will help. The only thing you're getting here when you play today is well, let's turn this quest in. Let's just...
Time is money,
Do
friend.
you have my hypercapacitor?
My hypercapacitor. This will keep me busy for a while until I can figure out what it does.
Cool. All right, so I'm gonna put that ring on. Like I said, I like it a little bit better than the Band of the Undercity, and that's it. Hypercapacitor Gizmo is now picked up and finished. Bam, bam, bong, bong. Cool. So that one's getting done. All right, so let's go work on Sacred Fire. Yeah, the only thing there's two things we got going on in World of Warcraft Classic today. On this night, September 10th, you have a lot of people not playing the game because I guess Mythic Plus just kicked off today to Tuesday, so that was the biggest update today. Again, I have not been playing. Cuzzy mentioned, and he's my barometer for the OG fans out there. Cuzzy said he would not mind if I did not play, and you guys saw like my world first, my GleeCon first, of me doing War Within together on camera. So I'm going to do my best to just hold out as long as I can and not play that game. And it is it's beneficial to that plan that I'm so freaking busy lately. And from the other side, the people that are on, there's the presidential debate going on, and so you just have a bunch of butt-cheek hats just bloviating on their opinions, which everybody knows. There's no way you can go wrong with that. That's super interesting. Everybody wants to know everyone else's opinion on World of Warcraft about which politician they like, and everybody knows that's how you change opinions. So getting to hear people talk about that in chat is just really fun. I gotta fight this person. So that's what we're doing. That's my life right now, is just bouncing back and chat between the two. Now we do have to find where these... Cool, that's cool. We got some bubbling water. Typically they are in the water, but there's also, they can be found on the shore. Now I could use some of my... There's one right there. If you're an herbalist, you can see them on the map, and then that makes it a lot easier. Dagnabbit. Should we DR things on the last boss, or is that dumb? I don't know what they're talking about. For some reason my staff leveling up is going up, but it hadn't before. I also like this bubbling water sitch that we have going on. Alright, so we need 10. That's what makes this quest tedious. There are not that... I don't think there's even 10 spawn points. So you're automatically running around waiting on the spawn points to respawn. Also, these guys, while not incredible, not very high level, they're not gray. So there's some aggro radius. Like right there. We are aggroing from a moderately different. Alright, so there we go. I mean, I will take all these bubbling waters that we're getting out of this experience. That didn't give me anything. Okay, I see a third one, and Questy doesn't give you all the spawn points. I will try to... There's sometimes one back there. I've just done this quest enough times. We've done it together on this channel. We're starting to really get into my recent memories, because doing Thousand Needles was one of the last full zones we did on our boarded run. So that means like we finish this zone and then maybe do like 1 or 2 more dungeons and then we just restart again. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'll never freaking do that again. You might be looking at the one and only time I play through World of Warcraft Classic. And by one and only time, I mean me playing through it with 9 characters up until this point, and then with a couple more characters with my wife, and until I just got tired because I felt like I'm doing this show constantly. When I have free time to play, I'm playing on my my trailblazing 2 characters. So we already failed with 9, so that's 4 characters I'm working on. And then when my wife and I hang out on the weekends and we have game nights, which we do once or twice a week, then I'm playing this more. It was just too much. For me, she didn't really mind. She would keep playing if this was my suggestion, like, hey, let's have this. She's a good sport when it comes to that stuff. But I was like, nah. So we moved over. We played some Diablo 4 for a little while, but I don't know why. I might be falling out of love with Diablo. It was fun. I don't regret buying the game, and I don't regret like my experience. But now that it's gotten like into seasonal, I just don't. I don't care. Blizzard, now that it's owned by Activision, it's too much of that chasing the dragon feel to it, like that. Gotta get the next patch. Gotta get the next what do they call it? Like the next seasonal pass, the next seasonal ticket, the next cosmetic unlock. World of Warcraft gets getting a little bit like that too, but at least World of Warcraft has this massive world and story, and you don't have to engage with all that if you don't want to. So there is a saving grace for that, where I don't think I will ever quit that game. I would imagine that we would get to there's just too much to do. Like, there's so much to do in this, and there's enough plans and ideas and challenges we can set ourselves. We could keep this show going on for 15, 20 years and not run out of things. Not even just run out, but not run out of things that I enjoy doing. So I'm not worried about that. It's just so long, so much stuff, and we started it late enough in the timeline that, you know, we had almost 20 years that we had. So this is our 3rd year of the show, and it took us really over a year to even get to the World of Warcraft aspect. So year and a half. So really, we've only been going about a year, which tracks. And the first game is so big, such a massive endeavor that, and because we failed after, you know, 6 months or whatever, however long, that I don't know how long we've been doing this particular run. I can kind of remember. I want to say it was right after. I want to say it was like right about end of March, beginning of April, when we started this run, because I can kind of remember like setting out my private spreadsheets, making my plans, doing some quests, and just realizing that we had hit a wall. And that's when I aborted the mission. So we've been going less than 9 months. I'd say 8 months. That's still a pretty decent amount of time, if you think about it. And in that time, I would say we're probably more than halfway. Probably. And I also was a lot slower in the beginning. Recently, I've really stepped up the pace. And you know what coincided with that? Busy time of year at work. Busy time of year at work slows me the freak down. And I'm trying my best, even though I'm trying. Right now, in a couple weeks, I'm gonna go from crazy busy time at work to moderate time. Like October, November is probably the most, other than I'd say June, July, those are chill. Those are my most chill. All right, so we're good on this now. We can fly. I think it'd be better if we just fly to Thunder Bluff, rather than Hearthstone and then fly from Orgrimmar. I don't think that's gonna be worth it. I think if you look at the grand scheme of things, if I fly from Orgrimmar to Thunder Bluff, it's not really saving us any time. So I think it's a pinch closer to fly from here, and we're really not that far from the coast. Alright, so that's good. So when we go back there, we're gonna be turning in a couple things. And we need to, because want to get this done before we go on the Grimtotem clan thing, which is the other thing I really want to explore on this episode. Maybe if we have time, we probably won't, because like I said, it's gonna be a shorter ep tonight. I think what we'll probably be able to do on this one, we just did that first little chunk, and then we'll probably also do the chunk where we do the Grimtotem, which is still like 4 or 5 quests. Because we've got the Grimtotem Spying, you've got Wanted Arnak Grimtotem, then there is a rescue. We will have the Arikara quest that comes out of it, and then you'll also have the Escort Free at Last, or whatever that's called. So we have all those that'll kind of bust out. And right now we're going to turn in Steelsnap and what's Family Tree? I don't even remember. Oh, that was a Family Tree is a breadcrumb. Some freaking rare. Yeah, we're not going to pick that up. Steelsnap is right there. Sacred Fire is right there. Alright, so we have 2 to turn in.
Where would you like to fly to?
Thunderblock. Alright, so then, yeah, we have the Test of... So that means on the next episode, which I would do in a couple days, because we're going to do the Fable tomorrow. That would be... I think I would... We could hit the Wyvern Eggs and the Escort there. That's just a little 2-quest combo. Followed and do the Test of Endurance, and then that will also open up Rakalim. And I think then that opens up the Test of Lore quest chain. So we could start it. There's some pieces. But let me look at Test of Lore. There might be. Yeah, so Test of Strength is Rakalim. Then there's the first part of Test of Lore, which would send us, so we could actually start this chain, which sends us into Stone Talon. And then you have to go into Ashenvale, do a moderate quest, come back. Then you've got to answer the question, which we did this already, this is why it's not really a spoiler. Then you got to go to the Undercity, and then that will give us a Scarlet Monastery quest. So I think that's probably what we'll do on the next episode. We'll set all that up, because then this sets us up to start the Shimmering Flats. So we'll do all of that, which will build us up to Test of Lore, which actually Test of Lore will then ultimately take us to... Let's see how I have it spread out here on the spreadsheet, actually. That's a great way to look at it. Yeah, so we have all of these Test of Lores, and then we stop there. And if you look at Scarlet Monastery somewhere, we pick up Test of Lore 5 in the Undercity. We'll actually pick that up, probably as well. We just won't do it. And then that's the finishing of the quest line. Actually, we'll probably just leave it. We won't, because there's Hearts of Zeal. So in order to not mess up, because that's too many jumps away from us. Yeah, so we probably won't even pick it up. We'll just go drop it off, turn it in, leave it be. Yeah, so we'll finish off that. We're going to do a big chunk of these right now. So all this will be done on the next one. And then... So that's episode 3. And so it will be basically 3 episodes of setting up to where we were on the Alliance. And then everything else should be about the same pace. And I think it took us 5. If you look at the channel, it took us 5 parts. And I anticipated taking just as long on this. We might break them up, like I said, and do the dungeons at different things. So, for instance, before we even start the... Like, I don't know that we're going to even hit 36. And we were 36 when we started that. So I want to get to 36. We're screwed, guys. But you know what? I did the dungeons after. Right? Didn't I? If I look at the channel. I did Razorfen Crawl. Yeah. So I did the dungeons fully after. So if we're not to 36, we can definitely do Razorfen Crawl. Either way, I think I'm going to do Razorfen Crawl first. Then we'll start the grind. And maybe we'll get there. Maybe. We're finally almost fully climbed out of the quests that aren't really worth a lot of XP. We're a little bit more than a third, 35, 36% out. Alright, so we got to turn in this one and this one. Let's turn in Sacred Fire first, because it's the most important one. And we really are going to be quick on this one. I'm not going to linger. But yeah. So that is what it is. And there's no... Yeah, it's kind of a plus and a minus. I have no... Basically, until November, until mid-November, I think there's like Columbus Day or something like that you get. But until then, it's just going to be moderate, low stress, high paperwork work for me.
Be careful what you search for, stranger.
So Motega Firemane sends word of Arikara. Well, now that is grave news. Magatha looks around. Arikara is a deadly creature born only to seek vengeance against those who have committed heinous acts. Magatha smiles.
Oh, what is it you want, stranger? I have little time for foolishness.
Good, you have gathered the essential amount of Incendia Agave. This rare herb found only in Thousand Needles will help light the dormant sacred fire of life. Magatha begins to enchant the Incendia Agave.
Take this refined and purified Incendia powder to Thousand Needles and toss it on the sacred fire of life. It is located in the dark cloud pinnacle on an isolated needle where they bury their dead. The enchantment that I have weaved into the Incendia powder will summon Arikara to you, adventurer. I fear she may be stalking Cairn Bloodhoof. Too much Tauren lore has changed, and I fear this has angered Arikara. Move quickly before all is lost, adventurer.
And now it's kind of tough because she's sketch. First of all, you cannot trust her. She's the leader of the Grimtotem. So she basically says she wants you to go there, and now she is helping you go to a place basically against the Grimtotem. But she's saying, I think this spirit is after Cairn. So it's kind of weird because she is sending us essentially against a spirit that is out that's associated with her tribe. I don't think Magatha Grimtotem is good. We'll fix the spreadsheet on the flight back. Not a lot of XP on that one either. Gain maybe 1%, so not a big one. That was our lowest level remaining quest, so we picked up Arikara.
Greetings, traveler.
Have you defeated the foul Steelsnap, Leaken Soul?
In defeating the creature Steelsnap, you have cleansed the Thousand Needles of a horrible taint. And that, adventurer, is your lesson this day.
Yeah, so not a lot. That does open up either Frostmaw or Deadmire, one of those two, so it is a prereq for a chain. We did get a decent amount of XP, a couple percentage points worth of XP. 2,450, a little bit of rep, but yeah, other than that, just not really anything. No gold, no treasure, so just a step in the chain. Probably it will ultimately lead us to something, and it's worth it for the XP. Alright, so we're going to fly back there now. Don't need the silk. I don't think I have silk to turn in. Nah, not enough. Okay, so we're going to fly back to the
Mounted
post.
on the back of a wind rider, one sees that its reputation for strength
And
is
remember,
steep.
so what we're going to do now is we're going to spend the rest of our time doing this. This is going to be the last part we do. We'll do it and we'll turn it in. We are going to get the secret notes. While we're up there, we're going to do the Arikara quest. We'll then kill Arnak and then escort Lakota Windsong out. Free at last. So we did just turn in Sacred Fire. So that one's done. Cool. Bada bing, bada boom. As you can see, we have a lot of Horde only quests. This is definitely a skewed Horde zone. And we picked up the Arikara quest. Arikara, Harikari. Oh man, I hate it when I do that. I hate it when I copy instead of paste. Paste. All right. And then, so we are going to finish this one, this one, this one, this one. Oh, and we finished Steelsnap. Forgot about that. Finished Steelsnap, so we already finished that. All right, and then, so the Wind Rider and Homeward Bound, we're going to be saving Test of Endurance, and then this one. So this is actually going to take us a little bit of time. So that little chain of things, that will be our next episode on Thursday. Should be. Now, I might be forgetting something in my life that I have to accomplish. I don't know. That's the flip side. There's just so many. My son's in band, so there are football games we have to take him to so he can go play. He's part of a couple clubs, part of a different. I volunteer for some of the stuff he does. So now we're finally starting to hit that year and then today I was able to bow out a little bit early and pick him up early because like I told you guys, I mentioned it if you saw the Patreon, my oldest daughter got T-boned last night. She is fine. She's totally fine. She wasn't driving, it was her boyfriend. But yeah, they were totally just driving along the road and somebody just straight up blew through. They were making a left on a 4-lane road, like they were gonna go. They're on the, they're on the other side of the road. They get into the left turning lane, and then rather than getting into the turning lane and then pausing to make sure traffic is clear, they just pulled into that turning lane and just kept going straight across. My daughter just happened to be the one there at the time, and they just smacked T-boned into her, totaled her car, totaled it out. Thank God she's okay. And her boyfriend's fine too. He's a little banged up. But she's young, too, so it stinks to be without a car. But anyway, so I'll be taking her home from work. Her boyfriend will be dropping her off because I'm at work too early for that. But I can get out and pick her up. But that does allow me to kind of get a little bit of an out early for some of my son's stuff, because we can get your sister. That's life. And thank goodness. Yeah, but the most important thing is that she was okay. Just anytime, you just never know. Anytime people could do dumb stuff. Alright, so here we go. Actually, we spent a I keep accidentally hitting myself with that. We did this quest a lot, and we've struggled with it. I've done well at it. I've had a lot of different experiences. Overall, I like this quest chain. I think if you're like our level right now, like level 35, we're gonna be fine. But I've definitely struggled mightily at it. Major Grats might be the most valuable drop in the game. What? What is it? The Edgemaster's handguards. I see that. I don't know why they're so... Because they give you +7 to your skill, which translates into hit. I don't know why they're the most... I don't know why they're so valuable. I just don't get it. So it gives you a little bit percentage to hit. That's the one thing I don't understand about Classic WoW, that like percentage to hit is the most important thing in the game. So and that's a warrior thing, I believe. Because right, is it male? They're male. Okay. So who's using male like that? I mean, of course, it could be warriors. It could be paladins. They're bind when equipped, which is, I guess, a big part of it. That can be equipped from the time you're level 44. And I suppose you could wear it as a shaman. You could do shaman too, because it's axes also. But it doesn't say two-handed, but I'm assuming it also means two-handed. Yeah, I just don't... I'd have to do the math. I don't know what +7 is, because it's not percent chance to hit. So I don't... Maybe... I'd have to look at the... I know people have already run these numbers. I'd have to look and see what does that translate into in percent chance per hit. So I'm going to do the escort last. It looks like... Okay, I was going to say, are we already, like, late in the party? No, we're not. Alright, so we're going to fight our way up this hill. We've actually done this... I don't remember if we did this one on camera with our shaman. And I have to imagine that those handguards are not, like, best in slot. It says most valuable, I guess, would just be because they're bind on equip level 44. That's the only reason why I can imagine that they're... But we did this with our resto shaman, too. Alright, we're gonna kill some bandits. This part's easy, even if the escort... This is not the issue. We are low enough level that we don't have to worry about aggroing, which is good. Because one of the major challenges of this is aggroing packs when you're escorting. We're also killing fast enough that we can... Not really worried about these kills, though, because they're not worth XP, and they're gonna respawn by the time I get done with all my business here. So I'd rather just kind of make it work. These packs can be quite annoying. That's the... See, we need to go down over into the main part of the city first. This is why I said I'm gonna just skip these guys. They're not worth XP, they're not worth anything. Once we actually start the escort, I might buff up a little bit out of fear. But even then, I don't know that I even will. So, when you do this bonus, when you do this at 35 or whatever, like, these guys are only 26, like, you can do whatever. You can just walk around. Fight who you want. So you're getting 3 secret notes. That's what I'm doing right now. We're going to do the 3 secret notes, and then we're going to go get Arikara. They're in 3 specific spots. This one is in this chest at the south here. Pretty easy to grab. They're not really... This one's not really guarded. Okay, I think you can read them as you're going along. Agasham. Our plans must be kept secret at all costs. It will be disastrous if the other Tauren tribes discover our affiliation signed Harbinger Elm. So it makes me feel as though the Grimtotem are allied with the Twilight's Hammer clan. So that's our first real... This might be the first real connection between the two. And that's one of the really big underlying stories of Classic that you kind of reveal as you play that's not advertised is that there's just so much Twilight's Hammer stuff. So you do have to go into the main house, which does have a couple of these Reavers. They're actually worth XP. So they will aggro onto you. But still, not very tough. Okay, there's our second note. I mean, we could find a second one over there, but I don't care. Okay, so if you look at the second secret note, it says, Agasham, working together, our forces will be more powerful than all of the Tauren tribes put together. Yet we require your total obedience. Remember, your people will be rewarded only after our plans come to fruition. Signed, Harbinger Rex. So they're working with another Harbinger. And now you can make your way over to the final secret note. So, by spying on the Grimtotem like this, we are finding out that, hey, these MFers are actually associated with the with the Twilight's Hammer, most likely. Okay, nobody's in here, which makes me think there was normally a Reaver. Makes me feel like somebody recently did this quest. I felt like there was some spottiness here and there, too. Alright, secret note 3 we can read. Agasham, our agents from Lordaeron, will meet with our delegates soon. We will notify you once we found an appropriate location for our summit. Signed, Harbinger Greycloud. Now, they're tied to people with Lordaeron. That could go either way. Maybe this is the Twilight's Hammer. Just the word Harbinger says that. Who's Agasham? That's another important thing. I don't know who Agasham is. Maybe a leader here. I don't know that we fight anybody named Agasham. Maybe we fight him later. Alright, so now we're going back over to the main part. We've done the side, the actual little village. We infiltrated it. We didn't have to kill very many birds. Okay, now we're going to make our way over to kill Arikara. These little clusters are where things get dicey. Pull one, you gotta pull them all. Yeah, I pulled this guy. And now I gotta fight them all. So I'm gonna at least drop my 2 totems. Those bandits, they do stun. They gotta worry about casting when you're fighting the bandits. I'm fighting 3 bandits here, so they'll probably be respawned before we come back. I'd be maybe a little bit more aggressive with my killing and casting if I had my escort, but I'm really worried about it. It's a little low. Okay. Cool, picked up those. I'll try to also pull them a little ahead of time too. We'll go ahead and eat some of our stuff before we'll prep the whole thing. All right, so not very worried. I'll go after her, I guess. Not very worried about clearing it yet. Yeah, they disarm too, so that's annoying. These bandits are annoying, especially if you're a caster. They're just straight up annoying. They run too, so you got to be ready to take them out. We very well might have to use potions and all that stuff. Alright, so we've cleared the way here. Now, when we get to this platform, I'm going to clear the entire platform because this is where you fight Arikara. I believe Arikara is an elite. I'd have to actually look at it. We'll look at it while we're eating, I suppose. But we have 4 mobs to kill. But luckily they're separate from one another. We're also going to use... we're gonna eat, drink, and be merry. This is not... Honestly, this is not a hard... just let it run. I don't care about aggroing onto the next one. This is not a hard... Even though I feel like it's an elite thing. The quest is not elite, but it really is. I do believe you summon an elite person when you fight this. Okay. Alright, so here we go. We are now here. Oh, I should have... Dang it. I was going to put my mana totem down. I mean, I'm kind of a little greedy, to be honest. I don't want to waste my mana. I mean, I'll keep eating, keep eating, keep eating. Okay. Alright, so, honestly, I'm just kind of going to go for it. Because I don't think this quest is hard. So, Arikara will come. I can drop this too. I don't know where. come from? There you go. I used that in pinch too soon. Yeah, so as you can see, so it's an elite, 28 elite. Yeah, I was gonna say she does do a poison and a curse. So my spirit's reduced by 25%. That's a crying a shame. He hit me with a pretty heavy thing there at the end. I don't like that spirit is reduced. Go ahead and eat this mutton chop. Don't worry too much about the other stuff yet. Oh, I could make that heavy silk. Get that out of there. Alright, so now I can start worrying about killing some of the stuff. I hate that we've got this Curse of Vengeance on me. And I can cure a disease, but I cannot cure a curse. So, we're just going to have to tough that out. Alright, so I am going to fight my way through this right here. And plus it'll allow some additional minutes to come off of this curse. Maybe that'll help me. I don't think it's going to even take me 15 minutes. I'm going to aggro that guy. Come on. Okay, we interrupted him. Get a little heal going. He did hit me. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the less time that I have to, less downtime I have, the better, because we can hopefully maybe get out of here without having to do too much. Alright, so now that we're on the other side of the bridge, we are going to have to clear this area out some, because we've got to rescue our girl here. That's some elites. That's sort of the back door to Razorfen Downs. There's a Grimtotem Geomancer. Okay, so there is a pretty solid amount. 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. I think there's somebody. Okay. Oh, maybe there was someone in there. Yeah, we still have 12 minutes left on this curse. Whoa. That's my... I kind of had pulled it out some. Alright, here we go. We get the Stomper. Pull him back so I can ideally just fight him one at a time. That's Arnak Grimtotem. He's actually the tough guy. I think he does a kickback or something. Okay, he has a tough person right there. I'm going to go after them. Now he's going to aggro on. Yeah, they're already done. Okay, so Arnak Grimtotem, this is another part of the quest. This is the guy on the wanted poster. None's too shabby, don't have to worry about it. He's not even running. He did hit me with the lead though. Don't like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna go after this person just in case. There's that girl just crying. That's not annoying, young lady. Not annoying at all. He's just gonna run to the back of his tent. Cool. Alright, so I'm gonna see if I have... I'll go ahead and heal. Okay, now we're gonna refresh everything. Take this off. Okay, I don't think... I'm gonna drink one of my bubbling waters. Now this is a 20 armor, 7 points... No, mine's a pinch better. Do I have... Don't... Could save that extra quest, but I'd rather just use the mana. Okay, we're gonna start now.
Arnak thinks we're going to be married, but after I declined his offer, he came back that night and kidnapped me. My brother tried to stop him, but Arnak was too strong. He slew my brother and then brought me here, my poor brother. Adventurer, could you escort me out of the Dark Cloud Pinnacle, please? I need to get back to Thalia. She must be worried sick about me.
Okay, and she says, be on guard. Arnak has some strange power over the Grimtotem. They will not be happy to see me escape. Oh, okay. Alright, so Lakota Windsong, you can't get too far ahead of her, or you will fail. I've tried to lead the way and just pull guys, and it doesn't work out. It's a failed concept. It's really, the only thing that's hard is you have these packs. We've cleared one out, but we will have to get through 2 different packs where you can fight multiple guys, and then they'll aggro on a couple more. So you do have to be careful. So, I mean, we can take our time on the walk part. We have 10 minutes on this curse, so we've done 5. See, there will be people that aggro right here, and I don't like that bandit's right there, so we just have to be careful about what does she do. I'm going to pull this bandit over and just see what happens. We aggroed that one now on too. So she is going to go after, and the good thing is because that wasn't her pathing route, she didn't trigger the auto fight that comes up out of this. Which is good. Okay, so now what will happen is she'll go back, so stay close to her so you don't fail. And now there will be a triggering of a couple guys that will spawn right here as well. So what you want to be careful is that you don't trigger these spawn fights right here while you're trying to fight others. So you want to, basically like we just did, and we just did the easy one because the pack wasn't right there. You want to make sure those paths are going. See, she regathered some aggro. That's okay. Her gathering aggro is okay. That's not the end of the world. Alright, so we remember, well, we have to be smart about this. Gotta stay kind of close, but we also want to pull these people to fight them on our terms. We do not want her to... Okay, so we kind of want to go close here. Oh, he resisted it. That's not what I want. But the good thing is, she ran up to join the fight. That's exactly what I want. Because we don't want to start this fight. I'm just going to let her flame strike us both. Just hit me with something. Oh, it's kind of slow. And now that guy patted away. That's good. And someone... Oh, we're lucky. This person is coming up here killing. So that's actually going to help us out a lot. Because... That's gonna help us. Because they hopefully cleared the other pack. So this is one of the 2 packs we had to deal with that are potentially deadly. I mean, there's nothing I can do for him. I can't buff. I'm just a shaman, but and it's too late. If we invited them to a party, they can't get any bonus. So, if they killed the pack over here, yeah, and they did, that's it. And we've essentially, there's nothing to do. There will be a small spawn right there, but that last one right that we just completed, in my opinion, that's the hardest. That's the one that's most fraught with danger. This one has a little bit more space. Same concept where you can aggro these packs, and you have to time the way you aggro them and pull them away from the ones that spawn in. But this one has more space with which to navigate, so in my opinion, this is not as tough. So we'll be okay. And then it's just single fights down the hill, single 1v1s. More Grimtotems are coming this way. Okay. gun. Hate it when I do that on my lightning. That one ran. I'm not going after it when it's sitting there cliffside like that. Dangerous. Alright, so we have a curse on us for 5 more minutes still because of that stupid Arikara, but now it's literally the only way you could fail would be to get into a 1v1 where you didn't assist her, and then that's only a maybe, or walk your behind off this cliff. That would do it. That'd cause you to fail. So I guess make sure you can walk. And this, yeah, that's it. So we're going to go into, we do have to go, Arikara is actually right there. And then we'll go turn in the other 3 at the village and then go pop into the inn. And that's where we're going to wrap tonight. It's getting a little bit late. You know, my wife always gets after me too. I get these moments of silence and my mind will just, this time of year, my mind will drift to work. I just hate it. Why do we let ourselves do that? You know, why? And how many people, you know, do a job that's like, there's a guy I work with all the time and he's a former military. And he's like a security type dude now, like a head of a, you know, he's not like a security guard. He's high up. You know, he makes more money than I do probably. And we don't like personally. We I'm sure we would not like ever hang out or be friends. But we've worked together for I don't know, 7 years or something at least. So we've known. At one point in time, we were office like mates. Our offices were side by side. I have nothing against the guy. He's a interesting dude. Again, like I said, former military, and he does like a competitive BMX bike racing. He's in like the over 50 bracket and is one of the at some points is one of the best in the world. Leading into COVID, he was. But yeah, again, a lot of things about us that are probably different, but we always have, he and I have a very similar approach to the working relationship, which is by and large keep all that crap out of work. You know, we all know that there are things that we believe that are gonna rub other people the wrong way. Keep it off, and I try to follow this policy on the show too. Keep it out of the show. Keep it out of work. You know, it's not this. These are not the venue. Nobody cares. You know. And one of the things he would always, no matter how stressful things were getting at work, he would always be like, "Look, no one's gonna die," and he meant that like as a former, long-time like retiree from the military. Finally free at last. I must be going now. Thank you for helping me escape. I can get back to Freewood Post by myself. Alright, let's first go turn in the Arikara thing. So I like it, you know. I liked when he would say that because it's true. And my wife, as a nurse in the ER, very often she will deal with things that are stressful, literal life and death situations. So outside of people that deal with that, I think most of us are in a job where no one's going to die. Now, of course, there's varying degrees of that. And sometimes there are things that are very important, and it's just hard to see the immediate impact of that. Like if you look at a teacher, for instance, sure, no one's going to die because of what you do, but by having a relationship with a kid for a year or whatever, you might change someone's life, like, profoundly.
Hail.
Have you slain the vicious serpent Arikara, Gleekensoul?
This does not make sense. Why would Arikara be after Cairn Bloodhoof?
Not as good as her
Agatha
staff,
could not
but
be
getting
wrong.
closer.
She is our most powerful shaman.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, your great deed to the Horde shall not go unnoticed. Please, choose one of these as a reward for your aid.
Now, here's a hot take on this. Because we know that Magatha Grimtotem is not to be trusted. And it's weird because she did send us after Arikara. And then she says, why would Arikara be after? But hot take, what if the Grimtotem had sent Arikara after Karen? But then why did Magatha, like, what's Magatha's story? Is she... I want to look this up. And I don't want to do too many spoilers. Is Magatha Grimtotem bad? Okay, well, she's considered corrupt. Phew! Oh, excuse me, guys. Woohoo! I thought she was bad. I couldn't remember, and again, I don't want to get too far into it. Alright, so we just did Arikara turned in. Cool. Done. So that one's done. And then we're going to go turn in, while we're here, these other 3 Grimtotem Spying, wanted Arnak Grimtotem, and free at last. Free at last. So, Grimtotem Spying, I'm just going to go ahead and mark these as they come in this order. It doesn't really matter because we're going to turn them in all simultaneously. Whoopsie daisy. And, you know, also, here we go with these other 2, Arnak Grimtotem and free at last. Also, I'm not, like, pooping on other things. Like, let's say you were a roofer. Like, yeah, sure. If you do your job poorly and carelessly, you could literally die. I used to do, not roofing, but I used to do gutter cleaning and window cleaning, like I probably mentioned it. And, there are absolutely situations you get yourself in where you could severely hurt yourself or someone on your team or die. So, there's all kinds of jobs, not necessarily just military or nurses, where someone could die, but like, no, in a job like mine, I'm a freaking bureaucrat. People are not gonna die, and how many people have jobs like that where you're just... I mean, how many man hours in this country, how much money is paid for people to sit in meetings? I'm not saying meetings aren't useful. I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just saying how many, and what's the point? Is it to make how many people are invited to meetings just to not hurt their feelings? How many people sit through meetings and glean nothing more than what they could have gleaned from a memo or an email? No, man, don't know.
Tail. Walk with the
Have you discovered what the Grimtotem are up to?
Great Spirit Totem, this is dire news indeed. I must begin to plan for whatever may come. Adventurer, as promised, here is your reward for your brave service.
Nothing good.
Winds be at your back.
Have you any news of that murderous Arnak Grimtotem?
Ah, well, this is excellent news. I was starting to think that he would never be brought to justice. Here you are, adventurer, and thanks. News of Arnak's foul deeds boiled my blood.
Ooh, we're getting close to being able to upgrade some of our gear, but not quite there. Those blues we have are still a pinch better.
Thank you, adventurer. Deep in my bones, I knew that she would find her way back to me. She told me of your bravery and how you helped her escape. These items belong to her brother. I know she would want you to have them.
Yeah, this one's not as good. And the cape is the exact same. That's what we have. So let's see what looks better on Homegirl here. Oh yeah, that nice blue. I'll take that for sure over the little poopy leather gray we had going on. Give me the blue. All right, we're gonna sell and then we're gonna log. All right, cool guys. That was good. You, as always, you listen to me rant and you spend your time with me, and I love it. I'm glad we're making good progress on this. Like I said, one more episode of this style, and then we will move into the Shimmering Flats again. And during that process, maybe before we start it, just to break things up, we'll go to Razorfin Crawl, get that done with the old girl. So over the next few days, that's what we'll have. We'll do a Fable tomorrow. Then we'll wrap up the Horde part of this, and then Friday in there we'll start running the Crawl, and then we'll start hitting up the Shimmering Flats over the weekend. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching, for listening, and tuning in. I'll see y'all next time on Warcraft.